My dividend growth portfolios are really starting to take off, and it feels like ever since 2023, the dividend snowball compounding effect is going on like crazy. Now, because I received so many juicy dividends in the month of December 2023, in this video, we're going to go over the entire portfolio that paid all these dividends, and then I'm going to show you guys exactly how much I made. So just a side note here, keep in mind, this is just one of my dividend growth portfolios. I do share other portfolios on the channel as well. So if you want to follow along with the transparent view of a long-term dividend growth investor like myself, which has been investing for around 7 years now, make sure to subscribe and follow along. I just finished my brand new dividend investing ebook where I share exactly how I went from zero to now over 7 figures invested, and also on how I earned more than $6,000 per month in dividends. I also finished my custom dividend tracker that you can use to track your dividend income progress on an ongoing basis. So make sure to grab yourself a copy of my dividend investing ebook and the new dividend tracker today. It's the first link in my description. But if we were to sort this single portfolio that's currently valued at around $534,000 from the largest position to the least large position, my 1,000 shares of Apple are still in the number one position, and I'm really hoping that Apple does a decent sized dividend increase sometime soon here. My next largest position in this portfolio is going to be my 936 shares of Realty income, which I've still been buying a few shares of Realty income here and there over the last few weeks, but keep in mind, I'm really trying to build up my SCHD position with sprinkling in some other buys on a daily basis as well. The next largest position is my 1,090 shares of Devo in this portfolio. Devo's done really well for me over the past few years, and although it's sort of a boring ETF, it's traded mostly sideways a little bit up. The dividend monthly is pretty nice. Then we have my 1,000 shares of Verizon stock, which are just as of recently now on the up and up, which is awesome. Then we have 671 shares of Jeppy. Jeppy paid me a ton throughout the year last year, which is really helpful to get some more cash flow into the portfolio to buy some more positions long term. And although I haven't added any more Jeppy as of recently, I'm still going to hold on to my shares that I have now. Next, a position that I added a lot more to as of recently is Enterprise Products Partners. I'm sitting at 691 shares of it in this portfolio, and I'll likely add a little bit more. I am also selling cover calls on this EPD just to hedge against some downside. Then we have my 100 shares of JP Morgan, which I've held now for years. Then we have the 218 shares of SCHD. If you guys have been following along, I'm trying to buy 2 to 3 shares minimum of SCHD every single day throughout this year, which will hopefully get me to a point to where I'm past 1,000 shares of SCHD by time 2025 comes around. Next, we have 503 shares of BST. We have 307 shares of JEPQ. I have added a few more shares of JEPQ as of recently, but more or less holding steady there. Then we have 820 shares of QYLD, nothing new there. 1661 of BDJ. We have 300 shares of OHI, 185 shares of XYLD. We have 132 shares of MO. Now, MO is a position that I was looking to build up throughout this year, but honestly, after the most recent Walgreens dividend cut, MO is just still a little bit too risky because if they do cut the dividend, this stock is going to free fall in my opinion. So I think MO, we're going to hold pretty steady where we are right now. Then we have 112 shares of National Retail. I've also been grabbing some more Triple N as of recently. Then we have 215 shares of Nusi, 24 shares of UPS. We have 47 shares of PNW, 419 shares of ETJ. We have 48 shares of WPC. We have 60 shares of Maine, 16 shares of EXR. We have 77 shares of Vici. We then have 26 shares of VNQ. We have MPW at 442 shares still. SPG at 15 shares, BOI at 85 shares, UTG at 58 shares, WBA at 50 shares, KMI at 59 shares. Then we are at 89 shares of TSLY. You guys might be wondering if I've added any more TSLYs recently. I think I've added a few shares here and there. But again, sort of like MO, tempting, but I think I'm going to mostly hold off. Maybe grab a few shares though every so often. Then we have 42 shares of QQQX. We have 41 shares of SVOL, 20 shares of PBA, 6 shares of TRO. We got 12 shares of SPYI, 4 shares of DLR. We got 10 shares of HRZN, 7 shares of APLY. Then we have 10 shares of RQI, 1 share of KMB, 3 shares of EMB, 3 shares of Coney, which is a newer position I've added. Again, is a total gamble position. We have CEFD, 4 shares, 1 share of ADC, 4 shares of ABR, 1 share of SBHD, 1 share of TRP, 10 shares of AWP, and then 1 share of ARCC and AMZY. So that's how this portfolio is sitting as of currently as of filming this video. Like I said, my daily buys as of recent have mostly been centered around SCHD with a few random sporadic buys like the EPD I added as of recently. and some other things here and there. Now, before we go through and I show you all the dividends that were paid in December, comment down below your favorite position in the portfolio as of right now as it sits. So now we get to the fun stuff, all the dividend payments that I received in the month of December of 2023, which again, I really feel like this portfolio is starting to compound in the sense to where I'm getting cash balance now on pretty much a weekly occasion, in which it's really refilling my cash balance nicely and allowing me to buy all my daily buys and then some. So we started off on the 1st of December with $41 from PNW. On the 1st, we also got $1.97 from EMB. Then on the 6th of December, we had our JEPQ and JEPI dividends, 127 and 261 just right there. Then we got our quarterly SHD dividend, which was awesome because this was a long time coming. I've been really trying to build up this position now for months. $150 in this portfolio alone from SHD. Then we got $24 from WBA Walgreens, which was, I guess, the last big dividend we got now because Walgreens did cut the dividend. Then on the 13th, we also got about 47 cents from AMZY. We got our 43.48 from TSLY. We got our $3 from APLY. Then on the 14th and 15th, we got 25 cents from ADC and $237 from Realty Income. Then also on the 15th, 50 cents from HRZN. We got $14 from Maine. On the 20th, we got $9 from BUI. On the 20th also, we got a long-term distribution from BDJ, the BlackRock closed-end fund, which was an awesome bonus. Then BST paid us $125. We got another $93.35 from BDJ. We got some small dividends from CEFD and SPHD. Then we got $5.82 from SPYI, $31.41 from NUSI, $27.78 from VNQ. Then towards the end of the month, we also got $16 from Maine. We got 48 cents from ARCC, $17.64 from QQQX. SPG paid us $28.50. We got UTG with an $11 dividend. We got 80 cents from RQI. Then lastly, we got $24.26 from ETJ. We got EXR paying us $25.92, $12 from SVOL, $7 from T-Row. We got $158 from Devo, and lastly, $10.09 from PBA. Now keep in mind for December, we are also going to be receiving our QYLD dividend very soon here, but as of right now, this is more or less every single dividend that we received in the month of December, just from this one dividend portfolio alone. Now, like I said earlier, my dividend snowball really seems to be moving in the sense to where I have sort of a daily allowance I give myself to buy different stocks and ETFs, and over the past 7 or so years now of investing, it's been pretty tough to use my dividend income to buy as many dividend stocks and ETFs that I want to buy on a daily basis, just because I have some pretty big goals here. But over the last, I would say maybe 3 or 4 months, it feels like the snowball effect is really starting to take place. And as I buy more and more stocks and ETFs, and then with their dividends now, buying more and more of them, every single month now, I'm seeing a significant increase in cash flow, which is allowing me to make my daily purchases, at least as of now, and then some, which is awesome because outside deposits are always, of course, an option as well, but it's nice to have the portfolio sort of be self-contained. Now, the cool thing about this snowball effect is that I really personally think it's all relative to what your expenses are or how much cash balance you like to keep on an ongoing basis. I don't think you necessarily need to have a $500,000 portfolio to feel like your snowball effect is really moving and like your portfolio is compounding at the rate that you want it to compound at. Because we all have different expenses and we all have different ideas of what, a large amount of daily buys are. Like for me, for example, if I can buy 2 shares of SHD and maybe a few other things throughout the market on a daily basis, that to me is absolutely amazing. But maybe to some investors, that's absolutely nothing. Maybe some investors want to buy 10 shares of SHD on a daily basis. Or there's other investors out there with not as much cash balance that maybe just want to buy a fractional share, etc., etc. My point is that the dividend snowball effect is really going to take place once it meets sort of your standards, which as of right now, my dividend snowball is finally starting to feel like it's rolling down the hill. But now I want to hear from you guys down below. Out of all the dividends you received in the month of December, what stock or ETF paid you the most? Drop the ticker symbol in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to please drop a like and subscribe for more future content like this. Thanks as always for stopping by, and if you are interested in investing, make sure to check out these recent videos I posted right here.